Hello my friends, Dowellzrul here, and welcome back to another deck profile, and a Junkrat enthusiast, this one's for you. Say hello to my Malicevorice deck. So, I had a lot of fun with this deck back when I first built it, and a Junkrat enthusiast wanted me to rebuild it, so I figured, why not? I'll see what I can do here in 2019, and with all the cards that have come out over the years, haven't really helped the deck, but there are some powerful cards that you could actually put in here that would make the deck not terrible. But anyway, without further ado, let's just get right into this. And we're starting things off with 3 Malicevorice Fork, right? And Fork is easily the second best starter in the deck, right? So you could just send one Fiend monster from your hand to the grave and special summon this card from your hand. Just that simple. Free special summon just by discarding a Fiend type, sending a Fiend type. So if you were to use Dangers, they wouldn't get their effect. So next, I'm also running 2 each of the Knife and the Spoon. Now, these are decent on their own merit, but you do not want to open them as much as you open the Fork, because they just don't work well with the other half of the deck. And Spoon, arguably Spoon is better than Knife, because what it summons from the graveyard isn't, it doesn't have to summon a Malicevorice from the graveyard, but yeah, so that's it for the Malicevorice, guys. So this is only 7 Malicevorice. So obviously there's going to be more monsters in the deck. And what I decided to go with is the Umbral Horrors. So Umbral Horror Ghost is definitely the better starter card in the deck, because he can just special summon himself and any level 4 or lower Fiend type monster from your hand, right? So that's just a free link or rank 2. Alright, so just simple as that. You just can't normal summon or set during the turn you activate that effect. And then we have Umbral Horror Will-O-the-Wisp. This is level 1, so it works with 1-for-1, and when it's normal or special summon, you can target an Umbral Horror monster you control or in your graveyard, except itself, and then you can go ahead and make this level the same as that monster's level. And then the second effect doesn't really matter. If it's destroyed by battle while in attack mode, and he is not in defense when you take the damage, so you have to take the damage, you could destroy the monster that destroyed it, but that doesn't really ever come up. You just use it for Exceed Summoning. Next, we have 3 Umbral Horror Ghoul. Now, this guy, once per turn, can make his attack 0 and special summon 1 Umbral Horror with 0 attack from your hand. The only Umbral Horror he can't summon from your hand is the Ghost, so it's very useful when you have a hand of Umbral Horrors. Next, I'm running 2 Umbral Horror Unform. Now, this guy, when he's destroyed by battle while attacking a monster, so you have to attack into someone, you can special summon 2 Umbral Horrors from your deck. Now, the only reason you would use that effect is because he's the only monster you have. Now, what you're usually going to use him for is Umbral Horror Ghoul, special summon him out in Exceed Summon a rank 4, or just use him for Allure of Darkness fodder. He's not really very important, but he is a level 4 that you can summon for free off of 2 guys in the archetype, in the entire deck. So next we have, for the spell cards, we have 3 Pot of Desires, just for some draw power. 3 Allure of Darkness, because everything is a dark monster. 3 Into the Void, because usually you're just going to empty your hand onto the field, and this just helps you dig for your monsters, your combo monsters, your starter cards. And next we have the rank up spells. So rank up magic, Numeron's Force is up first, alright? And so he's just a generic rank up guy. He ranks up into, you have to target an Exceed monster, so it doesn't have to be any particular number or whatever. And you just summon out a C Xyz, or no, you have to summon out a number C monster with the same type. So you can't go from like a Jin Buster into that was a bad example. You can't go from, like, Dark Storm into Baguska. Even though they're the same type, it's not a number C monster. So, just keep that in mind. And then, once you Exceed Summon, it negates all of other cards on the field except for itself and the Exceed monster you summoned. So, that is really good. Next, we have 2 Rank Up Magic Barion's Force. This is the same as the other one. target an Xyz monster, summon out a number C or C Xyz with the same type as that monster, but 1 rank higher. And then, when the Xyz monster is summoned, you could go ahead and detach an Xyz material from an opponent's monster and attach it to yours. So, that's pretty nice. Just needing another rank up spell, so Barion's Force was pretty nice. Next, we have Rank Up Magic Admiration of the Thousands. Now, this card is really good because you could target one or more Xyz monsters in each graveyard, doesn't matter whose, so. And then, special summon from your extra deck one number C or C Xyz monster that is 1 rank higher than those monsters. So, let's say your grave is loaded up with a bunch of rank 2s, alright? Then you can go ahead and summon out any rank 3 C Xyz or number C over top of it. And all of those monsters become that material, alright? You just can't special summon during the turn, except for this card, right? So this is the only card you're allowed to special summon with for the entire turn. Which isn't that bad of a trade-off, considering the Xyz monsters that I'm running in here. But we'll get into those later. Next, we have Rank Up Magic Quick Chaos. Alright, this is a quick play, just rank up magic spell. It's basically Barion's Force without the material detached, so. The only thing is, you have to target a number monster, not a regular Xyz. You have to target a number monster. It can't be just any random Xyz monster. Alright, next we have Monster Reborn, because Monster Reborn. 1 for 1, because Will-O-the-Wisp is level 1, and really good to special summon. And then Upstart Goblin. Now, I would recommend replacing the Upstart Goblin with a Rank Up Magic, the 7th one, because I am running 104 Masquerade in here. So, you could also run 101 in here, or 107 as other targets for 7th one, but definitely would run the 7th one over Upstart Goblin. And then we have 3 Balance of Judgment. Alright, since you're dumping your entire hand on the board, and you are running, well, I am running the Into the Void, your hand is usually empty, so Balance of Judgment can get the most advantage out of it as possible. Alright, now for the extra deck, and what we have here is for the rank 2s, there we go, I have 65 Djinn Buster, 43 Manipulator of Souls, 96 Dark Mist, and the Phantom Knights of Cursed Javelin, right? So let's just start right to left, alright? Djinn Buster and Manipulator of Souls. I'm not going to worry about their materials and their effects because they don't really matter, but their materials are 2 level 2 dark monsters and 3 level 2 dark monsters, right? And that is important because just the number of Malicevorice or Ghost or materials you need, alright? And these, depending on who you go in, determines if you can actually summon a Link monster or not in many cases, right? Now, Djinn Buster you would want to summon going first, and Manipulator of Souls you would want to summon going second, only because of their rank ups, their C version, number C versions. So I'm not going to worry about their effects. They just, upgrades do much better stuff. Alright, next we have 96 Dark Mist, which takes 3 level 2 monsters, and once per battle, during either player's turn, when an attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's monster, you can detach 1 Xyz material, have the attack of the opponent's monster, and if you do, this card gains that amount of attack. So, the first attack, you'll be doing 100 more damage than the opponent. Then the next attack, you'll be doing however many attack you gained, plus 100 to your opponent, and so on for every material. So that's really nice, especially when attacking to someone. And this is the only number monster of all of the numbers you play that is not a Chaos version that I would recommend a lot staying here. You can summon this without a rank up spell, because this effect is actually pretty good. Sure, it's battle focused, but it's good compared to all of the other ones. Anyway. And then Phantom Knights of Cursed Javelin, it will not be a quick effect because you do not run any, I'm not running any of the trap card that became a level 2 monster. But you can if you want to make this a quick effect. But he takes 2 level 2 monsters, and then you can detach 1 Xyz material, target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls until the end of the turn, and its attack becomes 0 and negate its effects. So that's just a pretty good removal card, or negation card for just in general, if you need some stuff off the field. Alrighty, that's it for the rank 2s. Now for the rank 3s. So I'm also running just the Chaos version of the 3 numbers that were rank 2s. So we have King Overfiend, High Manipulator of Chaos, and Dark Storm. So King Overfiend is the upgraded version of Djinn Buster, and you will be summoning him off of the Djinn Buster using 2 level 2 darks. Alright? And what he does is, once per turn, you can detach one, if you would, stop with the glare, please. Alright, once per turn, you can detach one excuse material from this card, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls, it loses 1,000 attack and defense. And then, if it has Djinn Buster as an excuse material, you can gain this effect, alright? And its effect is, affect monsters your opponent controls cannot activate their effects. So that is actually really good. It's a worse version of, what is it? The rank 5 guy. I don't know why I can't think of it, but he is just a better version of Azathoth. There we go. Outer Entity Azathoth. Then High Manipulator of Chaos. Alright. So you're going to be summoning him using the Manipulator of Souls, and you will be using 3 level 2 darks, alright? And all tokens you control can make a second attack during the battle phase, alright? And then once per turn you can detach one excuse material from this card, and special summon a Manipulator token. It's Fiend Dark, level 1, with question mark attack defense, and when summoned, its attack and defense become equal to half of the opponent's life points. So this is really good for offensive plays. This would be your defensive card, summoning out the Djinn Buster, then into Overfiend, and this would be your offensive card going into Manipulator of Souls, then Chaos. Alright, so that's what these two are for. Now, Dark Storm, like Dark Mist, is the in-between. Alright, so you'll be summoning this off of the rank up spell, because there are no level 3s in the deck, and there's no legitimate way to summon these. Alright, and so he cannot be destroyed by battle. All battle damage you take involving this card is also inflicted to your opponent. So that it can come in handy in certain cases. Now he gains an effect if he dark misses as an excuse material, alright? And that effect is once per battle during either player's turn, when it's the same effect as Dark Mist, alright? But the thing is, instead of having the attack, it zeroes the attack. And then it's 0, and this card gains the original attack of the opponent's monster. So if your opponent's monster is buffed, they become 0, but you gain the original attack instead of the full attack, which is okay. It's definitely a better Dark Mist, which is what you want. And this is just your in-between, kind of like Dark Mist is your in-between for the other two. Alrighty, now for the rank 4 monsters. We have number 41, Baguska, Evil Swarm Nightmare, and 104 Masquerade. Alright, so Masquerade we're not going to worry about right now, because for the same reason of Djinn Buster and Manipulator Souls, his effect doesn't really matter. And this would be the monster you're summoning off of the Rank Up Magic the 7th one, by the way, because he is the 104. Alright, now, Evil Swarm Nightmare, a lot of people already know what it does, but 2 level 4 darks, and when your opponent special summons monster, except during the damage step, detach its these material, and flip it face down. Simple as that. And that is really good. And then everyone knows what Baguska Guns does, so I'm not going to bother explaining it, but he's just there for stall plays. And then I'm not going to read Masquerade, but if you could just go ahead and look him up if you really want to know what he does, because that doesn't really matter when you have his better half. Umbral Horror Masquerade. Alright, so you're going to be summoning him using Masquerade, or Rank Up Magic the 7th one, which is the preferred method, because he takes 3 level 4 3 level 4 monsters to summon, alright? So just keep that in mind, 3 level 4s, right? And in order to summon Umbral Horror Masquerade, you either need the 7th one or to rank up into it, alright? And when it's special summoned, target a spell or trap on the field and destroy it, right? And if it has Masquerade as its material, it gains this effect. Once per turn during during either player's turn, when would you focus? Alright, when a monster effect is activated on your opponent's side of the field, detach an XD's material, send 1 random card from your opponent, negate the effect activation, send 1 random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard, and half your opponent's life points. Since it sends to the graveyard, it does not activate any Danger Dark World effects, alright? And your opponent's life, it halves your opponent's life points just for activating a monster effect. This is a crazy card. Now, I would not recommend, the only reason that you would not want to summon this off of the 7th one is because at that point it would only have the 1 material, which would be the Masquerade. But if you summon it off of the Masquerade properly exceeds summoning it, it would have 4 materials, and 3 of them are not Masquerade, so it would get that effect 4 times, which is crazy. Now, honestly, you only need it once, because burning your opponent for 4,000 is a lot. I mean, even by 2019 Yu-Gi-Oh! Standards, having your opponent's life points isn't nothing to laugh at. And now for the Link monsters, I'm just running the one Lamphrinkus. You could also run stuff like Wee Witch's Apprentice and give it a bunch of attack points, but the buff for 500 is really nice. Just any generic Link 2 would work fine in this deck. Now, if you've been counting, there's only 12 cards in the extra deck, right? The last 3 are open because I don't... it's just... At this point, the extra deck is whatever you want it to be, because this extra deck doesn't matter. There's no wrong way to do the extra deck, just because it's a bunch of rank 2s and rank 4s that use rank up spells. If you wanted to, you could cut the rank up spells and just do rank 2s and make put more stuff in the main deck. So, honestly, the extra deck, this one doesn't matter too much. Just as long as you have a Link monster and a bunch of rank 2s and 4s, you're fine. So that is the deck profile. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that wonderful YouTube stuff, and a junk rat enthusiast, please let me know what you thought of the deck, and if this helps you in any way to build a Malicevorice deck. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.